What's up, MetaNerdz? This video is all about the Vanguard-class heavy assault gunboat, a vessel used during the Galactic Civil War. Manufactured by Corellian Engineering Corporation, it was related to the YT-1300 and CR-90. Its cost is unknown, but we can estimate that it would be around 200,000 credits, since the smaller and less powerful Corellian creation, the YT-2400, was priced at 130k, and the more comparable VT-49 Decimator was 160,000. At a length of 47 meters, or 154 feet, it was about 1.5 times the length of the Millennium Falcon, or about an A-wing longer than the VT-49. Being 39.5 meters, or 130 feet across, it was about as wide as a Jawa sandcrawler is long, or nearly twice the width of the Slave 1. And with a height of 10 meters, or 33 feet, it was just a bit taller than the Falcon and an AT-ST. The Vanguard's armament was an impressive fire-linked dual turbo laser turret and fire-linked heavy laser cannon, in addition to 4 proton torpedo launchers, with a total payload of 32 torpedoes on board. But what really makes the Vanguard an incredible ship is its ventrally located directed energy weapon. This green energy beam is created by channeling the energy normally used for the powerful volleys of turbolasers and heavy laser cannon fire, putting it all into one short but powerful burst of directed energy that could easily disintegrate a city block. So as you can see, this ship is highly specialized, not having a great number of smaller weapons, not even any light laser cannons or point defense cannons, which would be optimized for taking out starfighters. Instead, it just dedicated a few weapons to maximum damage output. Heavy laser cannons and turbolasers are usually the kinds of things reserved for larger capital ships, so the fact that the Vanguard had these, plus the large 38 torpedo capacity, is quite impressive, and the uniqueness of that directed energy weapon speaks for itself. To be fully operational in combat, it would need a crew of 6, but could also transport up to 6 passengers. And because so much of this ship was dedicated to Debanagas and torpedoes, it only had a cargo capacity of 220 kilograms, just 1/4 of a single dewback, instead of the 50 dewbacks that could be transported on the similarly sized YE-4. If we take a look inside of this ship, we can see the semicircular layout of the cockpit, with each crew member having their own specialized workstation. The on and off ramp extends down from the cockpit, and if we move towards the rear through these bulkheads, we arrive at the main engineering room, which houses the directed energy weapon. The aftmost room held the crew lounge, which was connected to the refresher, joining the very exclusive Star Wars ships with a bathroom club. These two areas make up the engine rooms, with physical access to the large ion engines, as well as separate diagnostic centers. Moving towards the bow, we see the bunkers and torpedo storage areas are mirrored in both arms of this ship. Though the Vanguard was unbelievably powerful, there is only evidence of one of them ever being used. This makes me think that the directed energy weapon was something like a prototype, or a Corellian Engineering Corporation concept ship that, like many concept vehicle designs, never come into full-scale production. I wouldn't be surprised if the Empire ordered CEC to stop the production of this ship, as some Imperial policies, like not including hyperdrives and TIE fighters, were aimed at keeping powerful vehicles out of the hands of the population. The Empire always feared that their iron-fisted rule would result in deserters taking powerful equipment from them, so making fleets of these powerful assault gunboats may have caused more problems than it actually solved. You can make sure large capital ships have die-hard Imperial loyalists at the helm, and his actions would be closely monitored by so many other Imperials that it is unlikely that you could lose something like a Star Destroyer. For the Empire, they could just throw a greater amount of less powerful ships at a threat, so by concentrating so much power in a relatively small vessel, they run the risk that the 6-man crew defects, and now you have a heavy assault gunboat with a mini Death Star laser running loose in the galaxy. Just imagine how powerful the Rebellion or some criminal organization could become overnight if they could just capture a squadron of Vanguards from an Imperial shipyard. That being said, apparently the prototype model was not destroyed, or the blueprints ended up in the hands of Tekeni, the spymaster for Governor Purton of Conquered Dawn. In the year 1 BBY, the governor believed Boba Fett was killed by an Imperial hit squad, but he also wanted to ensure that any memory of the bounty hunter was also destroyed. Fett actually survived this hit, and had stolen the identity of a man named Connor Freeman in order to interrogate and eliminate the Imperials that had tried to kill him. The governor and his spymaster believed that Freeman was simply an ally of Fett, trying to get vengeance for his dead friend. After locating where the unsuspecting and uninvolved Freeman worked, Tech-Any used the Vanguard to fire the energy beam right into the middle of the courtyard where he was being escorted by authorities. As the smoke cleared the crater, we see that Freeman survived the attack due to the quick thinking of his escort, who was the disguised Boba Fett. Freeman lost his arm, but is one of the few people in the galaxy to even have seen this ship, let alone feel its true power. So that's it for the Vanguard-class heavy assault gunboat, and the only cool behind-the-scenes fact is that it first appeared in the Blood Ties comic line Boba Fett is Dead, but was expanded upon in the sourcebooks Starships of the Galaxy and Stronghold of Resistance. If you want to connect with us, help support this channel, or get your own copies of the reference material used to make this video, be sure to check out the links in the description. Special shout out to our supporters over on Patreon, but most important of all, remember, even in a galaxy far, far away, companies are always teasing us with amazing concept vehicles that never hit mass production, and the Force will be with you, always.